have no idea what part of the vlog this is going to be included in, because technically I haven't even started vlogging. I won't start till like tomorrow, maybe even the next day, but I really wanted to talk about this song. So I was planning out my worship service for Wednesday, like I always do for the youth at my church, and I came up with 3 songs. We're doing Another in the Fire, Here I Am to Worship, and So Will I, or 1,000 Billion Times, and I love those songs so much. I think I'm just a Hillsong addict, but I just love songs that just feel so powerful and have this drive and have this like emotional impact. I know that's like a lot of Christian music out there, but these songs specifically, I feel like they really have that like weight to them. And I've been listening to Another in the Fire because I realized that I'm addicted to the bridge in that song. The bridge is just so powerful. Just the combination of like the chord progression and the music and the lyrics and just the drive that it has is just so powerful. And I've never been able to relate Christian music to my book. Even though I'm writing a religious fantasy, it's just that my book is extremely dark, and it has a lot of heavy topics, and a lot of Christian music tends to be like very uplifting, and I think that that's an amazing thing. And this song is very uplifting, but I don't know what it is, but there was just like this connection that sparked in my brain because I was listening to like the 1-hour version of Another in the Fire. If you can't tell, I'm addicted, I am. And then I was looking over here at my character boards, and like it just sparked in me. And I can't really explain this completely well without like giving up what my story is about, but I've kind of realized this arc of what my story is and what it says about God and Christianity, and I really feel like this book is saying that no matter what Satan does, no matter what the world tries to do to take you away from God. Sorry, I don't know why I'm crying, I'm just overly emotional. No matter what the world does, or what Satan does to try to keep you away from God, nothing is going to stand in between you and God. God has a plan at the end of the day. Satan can plan out hundreds of like sidelong plots, have the most complex way to try to like lead you away from the Lord and to keep you from his redemption. But at the end of the day, God has a plan for you, and at the end of the day, he is going to win the battle, no matter what it looks like, no matter how bleak things seem to be. And I think that relates to my series as a whole, because so much happens to these characters, and they're facing so many dark situations. And all of them are 14. They're facing so many difficult, dark situations. But the whole arc of the series is that no matter what happens, nothing can keep you away from God's love. And I'm sorry for all of you that like aren't Christians, but I just want you guys to know that like nothing can keep you away from the love of God. And if you haven't listened to Another in the Fire, I highly recommend. You don't have to listen to all of it if stuff like that is triggering to you. I'm very sorry if it is. I wish that that wasn't the case for some people, but I know that it is. But if you want to just go like listen to the bridge part or just look up the lyrics, it is just so powerful. And maybe it's the fact that I'm a worship leader, and maybe it's the fact that I've listened to it like over and over again, but I'm doing homework, and then every time the bridge comes through, I do a little sing along, and then I go back to working, and then I go back and forth. But it's just this is the theme and like the overall message of my entire series. Like individual books have things that the characters learn, but at the end of the day, the message and the lesson to the reader is that nothing will stand between you and God. I feel so close to this novel and this story, and I feel like everything's coming together. I know I haven't even started on draft 2 yet. I'm still rereading, but I just feel like this story has a place, if not in other people's lives, at least in my life. The place that it holds there and everything that it has like taught me. Sorry. It's just so beautiful. And I just love it so much. And go give that song a listen if you haven't, because I'm actually obsessed. And I don't know where this is going to fit in the vlog, but I will see you guys in the next clip. Bye. the spring edition of the Writing Novelties. My name is Hannah Grace Fletcher. I'm an aspiring author currently working on my very first novel project, Project Ace of Spades. Project Ace of Spades is a YA religious fantasy / science fiction novel, and today's video we have been rereading, going through and annotating my first draft. Why I didn't do this before I started editing, I have no idea. I reread it, but it's not like I went and added in annotations, and I think this process has really helped me. But before we get into that, I kind of wanted to take some time to go over my plan, because I ended up creating a plan for the rest of my editing process. So I'll insert a picture of it here. So basically, I kind of gave myself dates that I needed to have certain things done. Like I needed to read through this amount of chapters on this day in order to finish the reread. And then after I finish the reread on Sunday, hopefully, fingers crossed, I will go ahead and get back into the manuscript and start editing the novel. So basically what I've been trying to teach myself is that I have a lot of things going on in my life, and sometimes it's difficult for me to say no to things. I don't have a very good perception of how much time I have in my day, and I think that I've realized, and it depends on your situation fully, but I think I've realized that I really need to commit more time to writing. It's not that I don't want to. It's not that I'm not trying to write. It's not that I'm avoiding it. It's just that there are so many other things in my day that somehow end up taking precedent because they're more momentary. But writing, because it's so long term, it's not what I'm thinking about in the moment. Because my goal of finishing this book is so far on down the line, it's not something that I'm doing on the daily, like YouTube, like planning out worship services for church, like school, like doing client work, like beta rating, like YouTube, a bunch of other things that are more so on a daily / weekly basis. So what I've basically discovered is I need to have set days that I try to get certain things done. That being said, have I actually stayed on the deadline? No, not really. I've already fallen behind. But what I left in for myself that I didn't realize was going to help me as much as it did is that I left in buffer times. So with my rereading, I left in like a couple days just saying revise plot to kind of let me know that I needed to like revise the plot, and also in case I didn't get stuff done, I had 2 days to do that. Then again, I've already fallen more behind than my buffer just because of life things that happened and everything that I've been trying to get done. But because I left that buffer, I'm going to be far less behind than I would have if I didn't leave that buffer. I have a whole week cut out for like vacation, which will be awesome, but I think I might try to write a little bit on vacation maybe, because it is something that's fun to me. But maybe I can go ahead and factor that in and take some of those vacation days and kind of move them as like buffer days. Every week I have a day that I didn't plan to do anything, but I also have time to do stuff, which is kind of like a buffer that in case I'm behind, when I get behind, I'm not incredibly behind. I'm not behind to the point where like I basically give up on pertaining to the timeline. Because I put these buffers in, I'm not going to give up on getting this stuff done. I'm simply going to get behind, catch up, and get back on track. And it's kind of going to help me that way, especially because the process is so long. Kind of setting momentary buffers every so often will help me stay on those goals. Anyway, with that being said, I really think we can finish this draft in this spring. I know that I said we would, but it really is close. And I'm gonna show this, but I kind of just chose the word commit because at this point, I need to commit to this project, because by saying that I'm going to commit to this project is saying that I'm going to commit to myself. I'm going to have to say no to some things that people ask me to do. I'm going to have to put some things on the side. The client that I'm beta reading for right now, which is Ian Henderson, if you follow him, he has an incredible story. But after that client, I think I'm just going to take a break on client work. I'm literally a student. I also have a job. I also got a summer job, which is very exciting, and I think I told you guys, I ended up getting the job, but it's 40 hours a week. That being said, so it's like, I don't want to say big girl job, but like, it's a full-time job. And that being said, there are things that I'm going to have to say no to if I want to commit to this project, and I think that that's okay. I'm not saying that like, oh, I'm giving up on important things or prioritizing things. Like, I want to have time for family, for relationships, and I want to have time for that, but there are things that I'm still saying yes to that I shouldn't be saying yes to, that like at the end of the day they're not, I don't want to say not as important, because I have trouble making priorities and saying that some things are more important than others, but I need to commit to myself and commit to this project and commit to this journey, and I can't stop letting things get in the way of accomplishing that. But I have been blabbing for a long time. I showed you some B-roll earlier. That was me driving here. I'm currently at my husband's apartment, so I'm with him because it's Easter weekend. So I'm very excited, don't have school, have a break, very nice. So we have a lot of time to catch up because, in all honesty, you guys, I'm literally so behind. Like, I planned out how much work I was going to have to do, and it was going to be 10 hours today and 10 hours tomorrow in order to get client work and my own book done. I have to commit to client work. I have to get that done because the deadline is very soon, and I really want to commit to that because obviously I'm getting paid to do that. It's a job. My book, I'm not getting paid to do that. I don't have a commitment to someone else. But aside from that, I'm also going to try to commit as much time as possible to this book. I'm going to get behind, but this is why we put in buffers. We are not going to give up just because we're a few days behind. If it compounds, that's okay. We keep going, we keep trucking along at the same speed, and we don't give up just because right now it seems like I'm not going to make it, because I am going to make it, because I have buffers, because I can do this. I think that we're going to go on a picnic. I really want to go sit outside and write, so I think I'm going to gather up my picnic blanket, get a little drink. I forgot to buy milk this morning, so I don't think that I can make matcha, but I think I might just make a water. And yeah, we are going to get into that. I'm very, very excited. I hope that you guys enjoy this vlog. I feel really great about where this project's at. Even though I'm behind, it's okay. It's a self-imposed deadline. Me being behind isn't going to stop me from getting ahead, and I think that that is what's important. But anyway, let's get into the vlog. Best thing about rereading is like finding little like bits of humor and little jokes that I put there that I like forgot about, and the friendship banter is insane. There's nothing I love more than found family. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but you know all of those old books like Harry Potter, Percy Jackson. I've personally never read Percy Jackson, but I know that it is for some people, and I do want to read it. It's actually terrible that I haven't read it, but you know those books that have nostalgia, and I feel like with my writing journey, a big thing that I've been studying is like how to capture nostalgia. How do you make a book nostalgic, even if it's fantasy, even if it's something that no one's ever experienced before? And I think the trick to nostalgia is found family. I feel like books today don't have as intense like friendships and friendship relationships where most truly they just love each other so much, not in a romantic way, just in a friendship way. I think that that's something we've lost, just really strong feelings of friendship, and I just love it. I just love it so much. There's something about friendship and caring about people, because if you think about the scenes of Harry Potter that you feel like the most emotionally tied to, it's the ones at like the end where they're all like hugging and they're cheering and they're happy and they're like just having these just such heartwarming moments. And it's just trying to capture that in this book has just been the most fun thing ever. And having the relationship between Ace and Biston and the way they become like the most unlikely friends ever, but most truly like become the best, most intense friends ever, and really change each other's lives in such amazing ways, is just incredible. And I love this book. But yeah, we're gonna get back to writing. Hello everybody, so I'm actually back inside. It's around 6, 7. I actually have no idea what time it is. Sorry if you guys can hear the washer, but I just got off of Andy Easter's new video talking about change and editing a draft, and I think you should definitely go watch her video if you haven't, because she's saying this a lot more eloquently than I am right now. But I think the entire time that I've been editing this book, there's almost been this fear in the back of my mind that, hey, I've written a book and I know that I can do that, but there are so many different choices and edits and ways that I could take this story that I'm almost scared that while I can write a book, I can't actually edit one, because I know that there's going to be so much change to this book. I know that there are so many things that I'm just gonna say it, there are so many things about this book that are bad, that aren't good, that I don't really like and just need to change, but at the same time, I'm also just so attached to this draft. This draft just flowed so naturally out of me, and it was just the perfect culmination of a number of things. The perfect characters, the perfect premise, the perfect ideas, the perfect match of plot and theme, of just the story and the government and the world building. Everything just meshed so well together when I wrote this story. And for the first time in the world, I worked on a previous project, but I ended up having to give up on it because things just weren't gelling. But when I wrote this project for the first time in the world, writing, I don't want to say it was easy, but I could just write. The voice of the story fit my writing style. It was not what I thought that I would be writing. It was a lot more action focused than it was literary leaning. There is literary aspects of it, but a lot of the metaphors are very raw and real. And it was never the project that I thought that I would be working on, but it was the project that perfectly fit me and who I was and where I was in life. And now that I get into editing, there are just so many little nitpicky choices that I have to make, especially with the chapter I read through. The way that I'm writing the characters now, especially Biston with his different POV that I've added in, he's just outgrown the character that he used to be, and there's more depth to him. He's more complex, and that calls for basically an overhaul of his character, because this whole time I've been writing him from Ace's point of view, and now that I know what's going on in his head, that character that he once was doesn't really fit him anymore. And it's the same thing for Ace. There's a lot of changes, big changes that I could make at this point. Specifically, one big change that I've been going back and forth about Ace's dad and his backstory and who he is, that I have been going back and forth on for the longest time, and I just don't know what the best decision for it is. And I just know that whatever decision I make, it's going to be really hard to edit it. And I think part of the reason where I haven't decided to make this edit is because that I'm scared that I'm not actually going to be able to pull it off. And I talk about this a lot in this channel. I want you guys to feel like you can write your story. Like, you got this, like, you can do what you're doing, but sometimes it's hard for me to even believe that I can do what I'm doing. I don't want to say it this way because people have encouraged me, and they've told me that I can do this, but me deciding to be a writer was not my first decision. It wasn't my second decision. It was the last thing on my radar. I wrote a couple stories when I was younger, but not anymore than your average person. I never was like, I want to be a writer when I grow up. I was in engineering school, and all of a sudden, I fell in love with writing out of nowhere. It took over my life, and I decided to pursue this passion. But it's hard because I don't know. I'm just choosing to follow a passion that I don't have any proof that I'm actually going to succeed. That's a little scary. And I just have to look at it and know that it's not a big deal. That there are a lot of drafts, that I don't have to get this second draft perfect. There are reasons that there are a lot of drafts. And I have to tell myself that I can do whatever I want with this story. I can write myself in a completely different direction, and if I end up not liking it, that is okay. It is okay to put work in that may not necessarily be directly influencing the project or may feel like it's a waste of time, but at the end of the day, it's not a waste of time because I'm writing, because I'm figuring out what doesn't work, which gets me even closer to what does work. I think a part of me is just scared. I don't want to be scared anymore. I decided to pursue this dream and I don't want to give up on it anytime soon. I want to commit to this project, and I think doing this and choosing to commit to this is so important, but it's also very hard because some days I love this book. Some days I read it and I find little bits of humor, and like I said earlier with characters, Ace and Bistan's relationship, it's honestly the best thing I've ever written. This whole story, in all honesty, is most definitely an influence. I don't want to say like a godly influence because that sounds very like self-centered. But I definitely think that like I didn't do this on my own. Like sometimes I'm reading this book and I'm like, I didn't write this. No. And then there's other days where I'm like, I hate this, this is terrible, what was I thinking? I think a big thing that I've been trying to tell myself is that the right way is not what you think people are going to like. The right way is the way that you enjoy the most, the way that you think this story is going to go, the way that you as the author want this story to go. But I'm also so in my head and I'm a people pleaser that it's sometimes hard to figure out what that is. I need to treat this second draft like another first draft, like just a new way that this story could unfold, like I'm just writing this story again. Obviously I have a previous version in my head and a previous version of the way that this story could go, but this is just a different direction. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But anyway, I'm currently on chapter 10. Am I on chapter 10? I think I am. I have 27 chapters in the first draft, so I have a few more to go. I'm not going to make my goal of being done by Sunday. It's just not happening. I wanted to start drafting on Sunday. I'm not going to give myself that pressure because it's not happening. I think after this point, I'm going to try to devote all of my time to beta reading for Ian Henderson because I really want to get that done on time. So I think I'm going to focus on that. But if I do end up writing anything towards the book, I think I'll turn the camera back on, restart the vlog again. I think I'm just gonna keep this vlog rolling. I had it on schedule to post on Sunday, but I just don't think that's doable right now. I really want to finish the reread in this vlog, and I don't know when I'll see you guys next, but we are going to finish this reread. If it puts me a week off, that's okay, because I have a buffer, because I have a week buffer. I can give myself a week before I start, and that makes me feel a lot better. But that's just how I'm feeling right now. Sorry if that was hard to listen to because literally the washer and the dryer are on. Also, overhead angle, you can actually see my beautiful rug. I'm obsessed with this rug. When I bought this for our apartment, I was overjoyed. This rug, I'm obsessed. Anyway, I'm blabbing. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next clip. Bye. Hello everyone. It has been a while since we last chatted. I just got off of the stream about 45 minutes ago. It was so much fun. All of you that came and attended the live stream, I just love live streaming. It's a lot less stressful content for me, besides the constant fear that I'm accidentally gonna say my real book title to the project name. It's just so much fun to get to interact with you guys in such a direct way, which is the reason I started AuthorTube, was because I wanted to be a part of a community of authors. I don't really know anyone that's serious about writing in my own life. I've tried to start a writing group, but it's been very unsuccessful. No meetings. One person joined my Facebook group, and I haven't checked it in a while, so I don't think anything's changed. I feel like I would get a bunch of notifications if anything changed. So actually getting to interact with people that care about writing just as much as I do is really fun. I am currently, let me actually check and see for once. I'm currently on chapter 13 of my manuscript, and that is out of the current 27. So we're almost halfway there, which is awesome. And while I was on the stream, it started to feel very pointless what I'm doing, because a lot of the stuff that I'm rereading through is stuff that's going to go through extreme developmental changes. And I'm like, this scene isn't even going to exist. Why am I rereading it? Why am I making comments? But during the stream, I had this realization for like a specific character arc that I could like, I have this other character, but they're not really big impact on the story, except for the connection kind of creates a full circle moment at the end of the novel. But I could change that character and their connection to a different character that is going to get a future book in this series, if I do make it as long as I plan to. And that being said, that would be a really cool connection. It also makes a ton of sense with a bunch of other revisions that I'm deciding to make developmentally to the story. It's hard to tell if I'm making the book better or I'm just making it different. And Christy Ann Jones talks about this a lot, to where like once you kind of reach that point, you kind of know that editing's done. But at the same time, like, I see so much potential for this book, but also I love it so much in its original form. Like, I would be the kind of person to, like, just publish my first draft and be like, this is the first version, and then, like, have the second version. I'm not going to do that. But, like, there's something so special about a first draft. And at this point, I just need to kill my darlings and decide what the heck I want to do. It's been a very interesting start for the day. 3-hour stream. Kind of hectic realization. Kind of struggling, backtracking. Anyway, I'm going to de-stress because I really need it. Possibly edit a bit of this video to kind of know where we're at, because I feel so displaced from what I was talking about before. This vlog feels like a total mess, but I'm probably still going to post it because I've been putting a lot of content in it and I don't want it to go to waste because I don't have time in my day. But it was really fun on the stream. Everyone was so sweet, and I love hearing about all your guys' stories. I'm elongating this. I think I'm gonna go play Harry Potter Legacy, because I love Harry Potter Legacy, and it just brings me so much joy. I haven't had time to play video games in forever. I don't watch TV a lot, which I did last night, which was awesome. I don't play video games a lot during the school season because I'm just so busy. Like, you know how people say that they don't have time to read? I'm reading and writing, so I don't have time to do everything else. And there's something different about just sitting down and, like, watching a show because you have nothing to do. Or, like, just not worrying about time. That's a concept that is new to me, and I think about it all the time. Oh my gosh. I forgot to talk about this. Because I'm a week behind my deadline, I had a buffer for a vacation. So technically I'm still on time if I were to finish the reread by tomorrow, which isn't going to happen. So we are going to be a bit behind. I could try to finish the reread today. I just don't think it's completely doable. I don't think it would be healthy. So maybe I'll finish the reread tomorrow or the next day. I really see the potential for that. And then we'll get started. Well, the vlog will probably be over by then. But then we'll finally get started on actually rereading. I'm very excited to get to that. I have a ton of chapters that I want to add, a ton of things that I want to change. I've been talking for almost 12 minutes, and this is probably going to be half of this vlog. See you guys in the next clip. Hello everyone, so I played Hogwarts Legacy. It is currently 2:45, so it's been a bit. It's been a minute because I stopped playing that about 2 hours ago. And then I practiced music for church tomorrow, which was really fun. And then I was just, I guess like just paralyzed or something. I was just not doing anything because I was just not sure what I wanted to do. But I put my hair up. It is kind of hot outside. I think we're going to go get a picnic blanket. Do I have? I have more matcha. Okay. I made a second cup earlier. I think I'm gonna go borrow a picnic blanket from my mom and bring my computer out. and keep reading Project AOS. I'm currently on chapter 12, so from the last time I updated you, not that much further from the writing sprints, but I'm like mid chapter 12, so we're doing good. And I think in the breaks, let me go get it. Okay, I think in the breaks, where on earth did I put it? Did I put it downstairs? Okay, I don't think I have it up here. I'll show you guys once I get out there, but I think that I'm going to read Voyage of the Dawn Treader because I put that on my TBR jar for this month, and the month's almost over. I'm definitely not finishing this one. Sorry, Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I got it at the library. I didn't realize how thick this thing was, but we're probably going to do that next month. I have a whole list of books that I've picked out for TBRs that I've not read, and it's kind of sad, but I am really busy, so. But I really want to read, I keep looking for it, it's literally not in here. I really want to read Voyage of the Dawn Treader because I love Chronicles of Narnia. It's really like my happy place. I kind of want to watch the movie tonight, to be honest, like right after I read it. And if I do finish that one today, which I doubt it, I think I'll read The Silver Chair too, because I love The Silver Chair and I think about it all the time. I feel like it's such an underrated one. Like that one and then the last one, I'm pretty sure it's called The Last Battle. So underrated. Like, I love them so much, but I really want to read this one because I'm so excited and I love the characters. And this is the one with Eustace. And I love Eustace. And I've talked about this before, how I love complicated, flawed characters with redemption arcs. I love an annoying character. I love it. And so I think I'm going to do that. Do some writing sprints, go back and forth from like reading in the breaks to, I guess I'm reading in both because I'm reading the manuscript and then I'm reading Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So I don't know necessarily if that's going to work really well. It'll have to be like a 30-10 situation, but it might get really hot, and at that point I think I might go inside because I'm literally inside and I'm hot and I'm inside, so no telling what it's going to be like outside. But I think we're going to go do that. I am done blabbing and I will see you guys outside. Guys, so I just wanted to talk for a minute. I've been writing, so I'm not currently reading this, but getting to read the writing style of C.S. Lewis in these books again almost kind of like inspires me and makes me like want to make the series. I forgot what the word is, but like the voice inspiration, like the style inspiration, the way it kind of zeroes in on these characters, but at the same time it like kind of zooms back out and you kind of get like the narrator voice in there. It's kind of how my book works in its current form. It's very much third person limited. Like, you are so close to these characters, as close as you can probably get in third person. And then it kind of zooms out and the voice kind of gives you more perspective on the world building and how things have changed. It's very similar. And I almost want to like use it as the inspiration for the voice. And I wish that I could comp these books. I would comp these books. I would probably comp this or Percy Jackson. But the problem is they're far too old. I wish that I could comp older books because I feel like the stuff that's been out in the last 5 years doesn't really fit or is compared to my book. Then again, maybe it's just because I haven't read as much in the past 5 years as I used to when I was younger. But I'm definitely going to, whenever I get beta readers, which is going to be after this draft, and I'm so excited, whenever I get beta readers, I'm 100% going to ask about comps, because that is something I've been struggling to find for this book, because I don't just want to pick a book that's also like a retelling of the same book that I'm using, because people have done that before. I don't want to do that strictly because, like, I don't know, it feels too close to the book. And I want something that more so focuses on like themes and characters and overall voice, I feel like, because plot, you can have completely similar plots and people might not enjoy them because they're written so differently. I think the main thing that people look for in writing is the themes that are discussed. Sorry, my bangs. The things that are discussed and the themes that it focuses on. So I want to comp based off of those things more so than like premise, if that makes sense. But this book is excellent to read. Oh my gosh. This book is excellent to read alongside writing this book because it just makes so much sense. Also, I'm thoroughly enjoying this. I love this book so much, and I kind of forgot how much I love his voice because it's been years since I read this, and I just love the way he describes things. I enjoy it so much. It's just so simple but also so profound, and I love it so much. And I'm just so excited to get into this book and to finally get to rewrite it and to get to kind of discover all of these new paths we could go on. I remembered what I wanted to talk about. I really wanted to talk about midpoint because the thing that I've realized this book is I've tried for so long to pinpoint a midpoint in this book, to like pinpoint a big change that happens because of Save the Cat and because of all the storylines out there. But in all honesty, I don't think that I need to find one. I know that sounds bad, but there are so many like little changes, like little shifts in the way these characters think. And then there's also this kind of like backtrack, and it's like this back and forth situation. And I know how important it is to have a strong midpoint, and I want one, but I don't think that that is the way this book is framed. I don't think this book works with a midpoint. I don't think that's something that this book necessarily has, or at least in the way that maybe normally it would be. Maybe I could figure out like a smaller shift to happen, but I don't think that this book, with all the other elements that I'm trying to fit into, I don't think the settings and the order and everything and the way this book is plotted out works necessarily with a midpoint. And if it does have a midpoint, it has kind of multiple and they're not in the center. So that's a thing. I don't think my book has a midpoint. And in all honesty, I think that's okay. I think if you know how to write a book and you know what you're doing and you know the rules, you can kind of know the rules and when to break them. I think this is a situation where it'd be okay for me to like not have a really big midpoint. And I've been worried about this a lot. Like I constantly think about, what is the midpoint of this book? Where the heck is it? Because I have some, but they're like too early, and then I have some, but they're too late. I just don't think this book has a midpoint. That's all I have to say. I don't think it has one. Also, I've been listening to Love Me Not by Raven Lene, or however you pronounce her name, over and over, you guys. And it's been a solid vibe. I don't know if it necessarily relates to the book that I'm reading necessarily, but it's been great. And we're almost out of time for my break, but I think I'm just going to start it over and read this for 10 minutes because this is absolute gold. I love C.S. Lewis. This is what drives my desire to write religious fantasy, is to be like this author. I love C.S. Lewis with all of my heart. I don't know if I ever told you guys, but I finished the Screwtape Letters. My whole perspective on temptation has changed. If you have not read the Screwtape Letters, read it. I have talked for long enough. I am going to I'm going to get back into this book. Bye. About to get good. Okay, so this may sound insane. I just got back inside. We're about to get to work. I have gotten through 15 chapters of the manuscript, and I have 12 more to read through. And theoretically, it's currently 5:30. theoretically, if I just did one every 30 minutes, one chapter every 30 minutes, I could finish this draft by 11:30, theoretically. And I'm considering just full sending it and trying to get it done, because that means that I could be perfectly on schedule. It means that I could actually, by some miracle, start on chapter 1 tomorrow. Honestly, if I full send it today, I might not start on chapter 1 tomorrow. But if I start on chapter 1 on Monday, I'm technically only 1 day behind. This is me like rationalizing my self-imposed deadline in my brain, by the way. But I feel like it's entirely possible. And even if I just do half of that, even if I just do 6 chapters, that'll take, 3 hours? Math is hard. Even if I just work for 3 hours, that's work till like 8:30. And then I still have time. Like, there is so much time. And then I could work for like 3 hours tomorrow. Like, even if I just did half of that, I could still be done by Sunday and be ready to start on Monday, which is crazy. So I've been writing a lot today because we had the 3-hour sprint this morning, and then it's 5:30 now. So I worked from like, what did I say? 4:45, maybe? I don't know, I can't remember. But I've been writing a lot today, and I don't know what it is, but every time I do a stream early in the morning, especially on the weekends, I just have this urge to write all day and to sprint all day. And I think it's because I'm like setting myself up early on, and it's a free day. And that would be insane, but at the same time, it's possible.
Like, 11:30 isn't even that late. And theoretically, if I wanted to put more breaks in, I could still get done by, like, I don't know, 1. Like, that's really not that bad. I think that I'm going to try to full send it. I actually do. And even if I just, like, miss an hour to, like, spend time with my family, because I know I wanted to watch some stuff with my mom on the TV, I could still get a decent chunk. I could still get, like, 8, and then have 3 left tomorrow, and get that done in, like, an hour and a half. I feel like I may actually meet this deadline. I think we're gonna full send it. Also, this vlog is getting really long, so you probably won't see many clips between this and the last one, but I think I'm gonna full send it. I think I'm gonna full send it. I think I'm gonna do it. Because also this would provide me with a confidence boost that I really need to get into draft 2 again.
We're gonna full send it. We're gonna full send it, guys. Guys, we're gonna full send it. 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 I don't know what I'm doing. We are going to full send it, and if not today, tomorrow, and I will be back with you when we get to the end of rereading draft 1.